Jake Paul has gained massive media attention recently after a SWAT team raided his LA home and seized multiple firearm weapons. This is the kind of media attention that you don't want your name linked to. Today on Beyond the Screen, I'm doing a deep dive on the story and I will be filling you in on why his house was raided in the first place and what this could mean for his career. I'm your host for this one, Joss Bedard. Thanks for checking out our channel. If you are new here, stick around till the end because I like to do some comment shoutouts, and you can also find us on social media. All of our links are down below. But for now, let's get into this story because I was just as intrigued as you probably are. Within the last couple of days, news broke that the FBI in Phoenix confirmed they got a warrant to raid Jake's home. They explained that the warrant came from the criminal acts surrounding the incident at Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall back in May 2020. If you missed that story, what happened was Jake showed up to the mall to join the rest of the protesters in the Black Lives Matter movement. He took videos and posted them to his Instagram story, which showed people looting the malls, breaking windows, smashing things, stealing items, the whole thing. Claims surfaced that Jake was involved in these activities, but he said he was simply there for the protests and did not actually participate in any of the looting or destroying of property. No offense, but I feel like he can afford half the items in the mall, or if not all, so I don't think he'd be stealing, but not the point. A spokesperson for the FBI came forward and said, "The FBI is investigating allegations of criminal acts surrounding the incident at Scottsdale Fashion Square in May 2020. This morning, the FBI executed federal search warrants in California and Las Vegas, Nevada in connection with this investigation. The search warrant affidavits are sealed and we are therefore prohibited from commenting further." Jake's attorney later confirmed that the home was his. He shared a statement saying, "We understand that a search warrant was executed at Jake's Calabasas home this morning while Jake was out of state. We are still gathering information and will cooperate with the investigation." So it kind of seems like Jake is holding his innocence, and it doesn't sound like his attorney is too worried about it right now. They are going to cooperate. I mean, I feel like that's all you can do. You're out of state and they in your home. But the rest of the world was incredibly concerned when photos from the raid started surfacing online showing firearms being seized from inside of his home. Big firearms at that. Of course, our first reaction is going to be, why does he have these massive firearms in the first place? What do you possibly need those for? It's a little concerning. But turns out he's actually been showing these firearms off in his YouTube videos and no one ever noticed or batted an eye. Just a few hours ago at the time of this recording, screenshots surfaced of some of his YouTube videos where you can actually see these firearms hanging on the wall in his home in the background. In the one video, his friend Tanner Fox pranked him by hanging a bunch of pictures of his ex-girlfriend all over his bedroom, and at the 7:48 mark you can see two firearms hanging on his bedroom wall. Just chilling there. And they do look like the same ones that the FBI just seized. But Jake's Calabasas home is not the only one being raided. About 300 miles away from his home, the FBI also raided the famous graffiti mansion in Las Vegas, which is actually said to be owned by Jake's friend Armani Azadi. Video footage surfaced from that raid of people being led out of the mansion in handcuffs, but no further details have been given on that one. This whole raid does seem to be very intense, and we can only wonder what concerns they have about him being involved with the Arizona riot. At the time of the riot, when he was actually arrested, he released a long statement on Twitter saying neither he nor anyone that was with him engaged in any looting or vandalism. Apparently that was not enough, and things were going on behind the scenes this whole time in the last few months that we didn't know about, and then bam, a SWAT team is at his house. Police in Scottsdale have come forward with more information on the raid. They said, following the riots and looting that occurred on the evening of May 30th, 2020 at Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, the Scottsdale Police Department received hundreds of tips and videos identifying social media influencer Jake Paul as a participant in the riot. Our investigation has revealed that Paul was present after the protest declared an unlawful assembly and the rioters were ordered to leave the area by police. Paul also unlawfully entered and remained inside the mall when it was closed. As a result, he was charged with criminal trespass and unlawful assembly, which are both misdemeanor charges. But then they said that they were dismissing the charges of criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly so that the federal investigation can be completed. However, these can still be refiled later on. Jake himself has not made any comments about the raid, and I'm thinking that that's probably a good idea right now. We will keep you guys updated once more information about this investigation comes forward. But for now, let's end the video on like a more positive note and check out some comments from some of my other videos. Steam Nasrella says, "Hi Joss, I just wanted to ask if you ever get nervous or get stage fright while filming these videos." Not anymore, but let me tell you, when I first started here, first of all, my audition, so nervous. And then like the first maybe week or two, I was so nervous. Like every time I had to like come to the studio to film, I was like, oh my god, I get really nervous. Not anymore. It's been a long time. James Fraser says, "Oh my god, Joss, I found the episode of Paranormal Hotel on YouTube, season 1, episode 4. You did great, but how did you end up doing the show in a hotel in the UK? I thought it would be a haunted place in Toronto, lol. How long ago was that too?" I am receiving a lot of comments about this one episode that apparently is online for viewing now. Fun fact. It was filmed in Toronto, it did not film in the UK. When they do reenactments, it's usually not filmed in the actual place, that's why it's a reenactment. So we actually filmed at a hotel in Canada, I won't say where. And how long ago was it? I think it was in the winter. I filmed during the winter. I think it was like December, January, around there. Darwin Ang says, "Will my dear Lucy ever appear on Top 10 Beyond again?" Never say never. Yeah. My dear Lucy. Oh, my dear Lucy. She's a really busy girl, you guys. She is on Top 5 full time, and she does a lot of behind the scenes stuff here at the studio that you don't know about. So she's a busy girl. Ian Brown says 69 ain't a celebrity. Well, you're referring to Tekashi69, and I think his follower count and bank account would probably argue that. He still sells like his records, like I don't know. Alright guys, that is all I have. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the update on this story. I'm your host Joss. I will see you next time.